Hi, this is Andrew Guy, and welcome. Just a few important things I would like to share with you before we start this audiobook. Short video, watch now.
Hey, this is Andrew Guy with AndrewGuySpeaks.com, reminding you that I'm impacting lives for a better tomorrow. Hey, thank you for stopping by my website today. I just want to tell you about some exciting things that are going on. First of all, my new book, Work Your Words and Finding Your Pathway to Personal Success. It's an awesome book. Just some quick things that you will know, that you will learn from this book. Listen, discover the real you. There's a real you that's inside of you that you don't even know about. You haven't even met yet. All right? The next thing, dream big. Dream big. When I say big, you want to dream bigger than your brain can hold, bigger than a river that runs, bigger than everything that you can even imagine. You want to dream so big that it will take you a lifetime to accomplish the things that you dream about. All right? You want to dream so big that it will take the third generation to accomplish some of the things that you dream about. All right? That's what we're focusing on today. The next part of the book talking about establishing your brand. What in the world is a brand? You are the brand. You are the brand. And what you give to the world is called your product. So we teach you how to develop that. This book talks about that. The next thing we talked about was become label free. What in the world is label free? Simple. Everything, every name that somebody has ever called you that you are not. All right? When you were created, they said that you were great according to Psalms 139 verse 14. Not trying to preach to you, but I'm just trying to tell you some truth here. All right? There's greatness inside of you. And if people put a label on you and say you're no good, you're from the ghetto, you're not going to be anything, listen, that's just a label. Do me a favor. Rip that off, and so we can talk when you work your words and find your pathway to personal success. The next part of it is that you want to turn challenges into triumph. Everybody goes through something. There isn't a person on this planet who don't have or experience difficult time. This book talks about that. And here's my big deal for this year. Wellness. What role does wellness play in your ability to lead? What role does wellness play in your ability to teach as a classroom teacher? We talk about that in this book. What does that mean? So wellness is the key to every success that you'll ever have or experience on planet Earth. What does that mean to you? There are people who have millions or billions of dollars in the bank account, but when they're on the deathbed, that can't do them anything. After the doctor have done everything they can, do every possible surgery or procedure possible, hey, listen, you're not well, so your money can't save you. But if you start now by working on your wellness, it will help you live a much more healthier life. We're tackling lifestyles and what you do to help you live a more healthy and productive life. The next thing that we're talking about is your workplace. 90% of the time that you spend on planet Earth, you spend working, either for yourself or working for somebody else. This book talks about that. How you can impact your workplace by your wellness. The next thing that we want to talk about is this. This book is available at Amazon.com. It's available at Barnes & Noble in the US. It's available at selected bookstores in Canada. Check this book out. It will help you. Another reason why I'm talking about this book, and I'm not just the author of the book, but whatever was in here, I live what was inside of this book. The next part that we want, next reason why we want you to get this book is this. We talk about how it can help teachers. Listen, there's a part where in this book, or a chapter in this book, as a matter of fact, chapter 7 of this book is dedicated to our teachers. How is it that your intentions affect your lesson plan? How does your intentions affect your instructions? What we're saying is this: your intentions will affect your instructions. If you have bad intentions towards the students that you teach, if you look at them as just snotty-nosed kids, then guess what? One day those snotty-nosed kids are going to become your doctor. And I hope that in your classroom you focused on reading, because if you didn't, they're just going to cut and they're going to say, whoop, my bad. I don't know how to read, but I'm a doctor, and you didn't think I can become what I am today. So these are different things that we tackle in this book. It's called Work Your Words and Finding Your Pathway to Personal Success. A great read for your teachers, for your students. Matter of fact, the essence of this book is this. It's a general approach with a specific intention. Most people read or write a niche book, and it just focuses on one particular audience. I don't do that. This book is for anybody and everybody who wants to change your life. Work your words. finding your pathway to personal success. This is Andrew Guy for AndrewGuySpeaks.com, reminding you that I'm impacting lives for better tomorrow, starting with your business, starting with your school, starting with your work environment, and you. Thank you for stopping by. Peace.
Work Your Words. Find Your Pathway to Personal Success by Andrew Guy. Introduction. Words create everything visible and invisible. Let there be, and there it was, the universe. Words are powerful, so be mindful what you say. Words are the result of everything that the sense reveals to us. Like an atom, words are the raw material and the building blocks of everything, matter. They are the threads of yesterday, the fabric of today, and the clothing of our tomorrow, the future that awaits us at the end of our thinking. Your words begin with thoughts, but end with work. This book is designed to encourage and motivate you to dream, think, become inspired, and then work the words you speak to create the world you want. As you read this book, I hope that you will discover and be convinced that you can have anything you say. Do what you think, follow your dreams, and live what you desire. You don't need a PhD to change lives, just desire. So be encouraged. Scientists say that the human uses less than 10% of their brains. But it has been a dream of mine to write a book that will stimulate the world to attempt to use the other 90% within your lifetime. Take the limit off your limitation and create a greater world, starting with yourself, then your home, community, society, and country. Always remember, success is a pathway that leads to a destiny that awaits you. But to reach your destiny, you must be willing to change, adapt, and work to make your words a reality. This book is filled with stories, examples, tips, and powerful quotes to help you along your path to personal success. Therefore, I encourage you to use this book as a resource for each transition along the way. In a world where change is a discomfort and the process of adjusting is unforeseen events are seldom understood, change is our most constant reminder that the process of living is one of determination, triumph, and new beginnings. Change is the answer to a stagnant nation, where failure becomes lessons learned, and growth enables us to expand our thinking, reach past our emotion, and beyond our wildest imagination. Growth is a necessary component that makes living worth the gift of life. The lack thereof makes you a prime candidate for permanent extinction. However, to grow, you must learn, and to learn is to discover pathways to your success. The choice is yours, so make it a growth one. We are a product of success, and we must function as such. Furthermore, there can be no success outside the will of the Creator of all things, God. Therefore, the success of a product is only possible when it functions according to the specification of its maker. You are successfully created to be a success. While success can only be enjoyed as a group, real success is first personal before it comes public. As a result, personal success is important to your ongoing motivation and desire to live. Before any success can become personal or public, it requires work in your words. Simple talk will not do what dedicated work, time, and perseverance will accomplish, the impossible. So read on, and then get out there and work your words. Chapter 1. Work the Real You, the Personality of Success. Success compels us to dream big. Big enough that the life of the dreamer will change significantly should the dream ever become a reality. Quote, Andrew Guy. Quote, by Longfellow Henry Wadsworth. The heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward through the night. Despite what you've been told, it is not some event that happened in the distant future. Success is work. It's you, and it's here now. Are there things you've always wanted to do, place you wish you could go? You have everything inside of you to make it happen. Success is an internal operation that has a built-in mechanism that craves the application of new knowledge after it has been discovered. It is not a one-time event that happens in your life. Real success is total freedom mindset that empowers you to make every moment of living count and to effectively accomplish any task you set out to do daily. Success is not idle talk. It requires action. In fact, simple talk gets you nowhere fast. Hence the title of this book, Work Your Words. 100% of success starts and ends with work. And the good news is that it's available to anyone who is willing and prepared to pursue it. There is a freedom of living that awaits you. It's called success. When I speak of work, I am talking about a mindset that has the word work. W, a willingness with empowerment to go the extra mile to do the things that others fail to do, to welcome strangers into your heart, and to perpetually work on making yourself the greatest you that this world has ever seen. O, obligation to the trailblazers who come ahead of you and left invaluable principles for you to follow. It takes a special person to discover the freedom that comes with true success. Beyond personality, success requires you to have a high aptitude of passion for application of your giftedness and a compassion for the advancement of people, not just you. R, reliability to consistent with a strong hope that you will never quit, even when quitting gives up on you. K, knowledge that is renewable and ever expanding your mind to develop yourself to a higher level of personal growth. Aside from work, you must know that everything in life has with it a personality that defines, separates, classifies, and identifies with some visual aspect of characteristic that sets it apart from other such things. I call this the power of differentiation. In the same manner, people might differ in their thinking, but we all want the same thing, the pursuit of happiness and the power to transform our lives for the better. Success is no different. It requires work. It is specific. It is tangible and therefore requires you to think differently to achieve it. As the extensions of an individual, success is the package ingredient that makes you unique and extraordinary, unforgettable. You are too unique to be overlooked and far too amazing to be forgotten. You are an original. There is no other carbon copy out there. Moreover, like a fingerprint, there is only one assigned to each person. Because of this, you have a success personality that is unlike any other. Therefore, no one can do what you do, like you do, when you do what you do 100% wholeheartedly. I call this an original, an original who is open to the gift of life and the process of living. The role of confidence. One of the traits of success is sheer confidence. Not cocky or self-indulgent mannerism, but the type of confidence that permeates the very fibers of one's being, and the one that is so contagious that everyone who comes in contact with you is positively impacted forever. To put it this way in a clearer perspective, if you're not transforming lives, you are not living. You are simply existing and taking up needful space. Confident, therefore, is not what others think of you. It is how you see yourself in this world. And above all, the things that you say to yourself on a daily basis. Are you an overcomer? Then say it. Are you gifted at something even if you have not discovered it as yet? Then say, I am a gift waiting to be discovered and the world will see me in a different way today. Are you healthy, strong, and empowered to use your today, the now, to rediscover the molecules of negativism into a more positive, productive tomorrow, the then? Then, say it for crying out loud. I can and I will, even if it takes me a lifetime to do what I must do when I do what I do like an original, like no one else can do when I do what I do 100% wholeheartedly. Say it loud, say it proud. Then after you've said it, take actions and work your words like nobody's business and make it happen. And keep it moving forwards. Living is about forward thinking, and true success is fueled by this kind of thought process. In the same light, confidence will be the momentum that pushes you into your greatness. Again, do not abandon your confidence. In fact, work on improving it daily. Why? Because confidence allows you to attain what you were created to do, thereby enabling you to positively impact lives. Faith that works. Yes, I said faith, and no, it has nothing to do with religion. Actually, faith is a pathway of living that makes life possible. Work the real you. You must believe to achieve. I don't care how you fix it, twist it, bend it, fold it, or measure it. You must believe. Nothing great just happened by luck or by chance. Hence, the myth of the Big Bang Theory still remains a mystery today. Facing at the helm of every achievement, visible and invisible, while believing is the action whereby all realities are manifested. Everyone who has ever accomplished anything in living is and will always be a dreamer who believed and took the necessary actions to make it a reality. You may look at the reality as awareness that all things are possible. When you believe this, you become unstoppable because you will begin to put the actions to your words. Don't just talk and jibber jabber. Work your words. Dreams and reality. If you are alive, you are a success. However, this type of success is what I call given success. But the success that is significant and transcendent and life-changing is a result of embracing all the experiences you encounter in life. This takes work. In other words, you may say, why did those things happen to me? The hurts, pains, setbacks, disappointment, and discomforts. Why me? And how can I use them to improve my life, family, community, neighborhood, and surroundings? I call this earned success. Failures are stepping stones to greatness if they become lessons learned for growth and continual self-improvement. In the movie Ratatouille, Chef Gusteau said, anyone can cook. The same is true to living as it applies to your personal success. Anyone can be successful, but not everyone can manage success. To be successful, you must plan to embrace change. And in order for you to embrace unforeseen change, you must have a plan for living. As you will learn later, there is a major difference between life and living. One is a gift and the other is a process. While a plan is the beginning of your success, what you do is more vital to your realities of living. Therefore, action is a cornerstone to making every plan a reality. In the end, every personal success begins with reality. Any success that is not realized is only a dream that will never become a reality. I call this a pipe dream that will forever remain in the tunnels of your subconscious and never see the light of the real day. Success requires action. It must be translated into something real that transforms the lives of people. Ever heard of the saying, keep it real? Well, the same goes for your personal success. Make it real. The reality that will perpetually motivate you in the toughest times. When the friends are gone, the car won't start, the lights are off because you didn't pay the bill. Hang in there and keep on believing. A quote by Bob Proctor, author of You Were Born to Be Rich. No amount of reading or memorization will make you successful in life. It is the understanding and application of wise thoughts which counts. Success compels us to dream, but not just any dream. It must be big. Big enough that the life of the dreamer will change significantly should the dream ever become a reality. There is no room for small dreams. Most people will tell you the sky is the limit, but I disagree. There is no limit to what you can think, do, and accomplish before you hit the grave. You are not limited by circumstances, but how you think. You are not failure for what you do, but how you think. So hang your dream past the sky. Go to space if you have to. That way, if you fall, you are still in the air, way high up there where the eagles of success soar effortlessly. The universe is waiting for dreams like yours, and there is still room at the top. But imagine also, not dreaming is like having a ton of heavy lead strapped to your ankles as you hang above 1,000,000 tons of electrically charged iron grids with gigantic teeth, waiting, screaming bloody failure for you to fall as they glitter with vicious anger. The closer you are to the earth, the faster and harder you fall. Your success is no different. The haters are like the sharp iron grids waiting for you to fall, and they will come out of the woodworks to see it come to fruition. Never mind their temporary distraction to your lifelong success. You have to ignore them. You don't have to be a fan of Nike to understand this simple concept. Just do it. It is far better to die trying, for this is living, than to die and not trying anything at all, for this is a real tragedy. Think of it this way. If you were convinced that all dreams come true, what would you dream of? Wouldn't you dream of something great? That it would take you a lifetime to see it come to pass? Darn skippy you would. I know I would. And I'm doing just that. Keep reading. This is what success is all about. Dreaming bigger than your brain can consume, longer than life will sustain, deeper than any ocean, and farther than any river runs. Mind you, dreaming is not meant for the brain, but for the mind, because the mind is by far a lot bigger than the brain. And while the brain is only a confined lump of matter that weighs about 3 pounds, the mind has no boundaries. It remains weightless, unrestricted, infinitely powerful, and relentlessly flexible. The personality of success is mental and embodies everything that exists today and those to come. There is more. Keep reading. The need for others. Every one of us is the type of vessel made to serve each other in our own unique and gifted way. This wonderful process is set into motion when you start to speak, believe, then work what you say to make the invisible your personal reality. Remember, everyone hears, but not everyone listens. Therefore, your thoughts become visible by your words, and intentions are only made visible through the things you do. If you don't do something, someone else will. So you better off doing it anyway. Here is a tip that will guide you through living. Say less, see more, hear all. Just listen, and you will learn far more than you think. The strange thing is that something always happens, even if you do nothing. The brightest solution to all this is that you are able to determine what happens to you. Although you can do great things, however, a major factor in all this is that you cannot do it alone. You will need others to help you along the way. Like the process of hand washing, through lathering and rinsing, one hand washes the other and they both become clean. Think of yourself as one of the hands holding the soap of opportunities, of which are many, and the people you meet and create lasting relationship with are the ones who help you lather up, scrub, rinse, and dry. Even though success is first personal before it becomes public, this principle remains. You will need others. While things like fashion fade away, people will always be there, providing they are the right ones. You might ask, if people are so important in the grand scheme of success, where do I put money? My answer to this is very simple. Money should always be a servant and a subservient commodity to people. It is people that makes the world go around, not money. For example, if you leave a $100 bill in the middle of Times Square, New York, all things held constant, and there are no sticky fingers within 100 million mile radius of that bill, it will remain there unused, untouched, undeveloped, and without growth. Unless a human with the success mindset puts this $100 bill into productive action, nothing will happen. Bottom line, it is vital that you see people as an essential part of your pathway to personal success. By discovering your pathway and then working your words to create what you speak, you will become a ladder that provides a step for others to follow, discover, and be transformed forever. Therefore, it is vital that you do your part. A quote by Lennox Lewis. I want to be remembered for what I have left behind. From personal to public, success is everything that is inside of you and awaits for you to discover it. The personality of success is a personal freedom that is first personal, then it becomes public. For most people, this is the reverse. They seek out public success before personal. This leads to self-destruction and ill-gain accomplishments, which are made on the backs of others. The problem arises when most people lose themselves in the process, having little or no self-image, unstable and without self-sustainability. They eventually become dependent or are burdensome to others. Public success is driven by low self-esteem, so be mindful of this approach. You'll be much more equipped if you first develop yourself, set your standards high, and create personal boundaries that will protect you as you navigate your pathway to personal success. Any person who has ever achieved genuine public success first did it personally. For this reason, you must always look inward for your success before looking outwards or anywhere else. You must listen. You must then manage yourself in order to remain consistent with your priorities and set realistic goals. Unlike the many books written on the subject of time management, I am here to tell you that success has little to do with time or management of it. However, it is the sincere control of self that regulates the process of living and empowers people to do extraordinary things. True success is only possible because of self-management, not time. Dealing with change. Sometimes finding your pathway to success involves climbing out of a bad situation to obtain something better. Sometimes it involves working hard on a good situation to make it better. But no matter where you are on your pathway to success, you will have to deal with change at some point in your life. By far, change is quite a challenge for all of us, and no one masters change. You either become better at it or it gets the best of you. If you are not mindful, change may consume you. Change is a critical component of living that forces us to abandon sedentary thinking for a lifestyle of movement and action. Like dreaming, change is never boxed in. It is free and flexible. It transcends culture, time, religion, dogmas, and paradigm, and it is no respecter of persons. We are all affected by change. It is a way of life and a pathway to experiencing the freedom of personal success. Change is biologically embedded in our DNA, deoxyribonucleic acids, and in our psyches. John Carter, along with co-author Holger Rothgeber, wrote in their famous book, Our Iceberg is Melting. It is about the ability to recognize, adapt, and respond to change. Written as a fable, is centered around a colony of emperor penguins who lived on an iceberg in Antarctica. Their home is a huge iceberg that one of their fellow penguins believe is melting. Although some of the sedentary thinking penguins grew accustomed to their way of living and saw no need for change, some of the leaders were able to rally a colony to swift action that led to their migration to a better iceberg. In the same light, many of us are apathetic to change. We just like things to remain the same way, just like some of these Antarctic-dwelling penguins. The strange thing about change is that it requires our full participation for the process of living to take their natural courses. The same is also true about success. It has a personality that will not always identify with others who neglect change. According to the author, if you handle the process of change well, you can prosper greatly. But handle it poorly, and you put yourself and others at risk. Another fable that epitomizes the lesson of change is Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer Johnson, MD. In his popular book, he metaphorically uses the maze as a representation of the real world. In this maze, Dr. Spencer places 4 characters that will live out the process of change to illustrate how people are affected by their willingness or the lack thereof to effectively respond to change. According to Dr. Spencer, there are 7 signs of change that everyone should recognize and respond to. This very important list below includes keys to unlocking the pathway to your personal success as it relates to change. 1. Change happens. They keep moving the cheese. Anticipate change. Get ready for the cheese to move. 3. Monitor change. Smell the cheese often so you know when it is getting old. 4. Adapt to change quickly. The quicker you let go of old cheese, the sooner you can enjoy new cheese. 5. Change. Move with the cheese. 6. Enjoy change. Sever the adventure and enjoy the taste of new cheese. 7. Be ready to change quickly and enjoy it again and again. They keep moving the cheese. Chapter 2. Establishing your brand. Rediscovering the real you. When you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. Dr. Miles Monroe, a quote. Rediscovering the real you requires more than just a brief look in the mirror every now and again. In fact, it requires a willingness to question, to let go of the dark past, and to embrace a brighter future. It calls for an indelible self-branding of your personal success, a type of success that will pave the way for the next generation to come. While easier said than done, most of us desperately hope that someone would rediscover us and show us the way. In most cases, sometimes it is necessary to seek external aid, but you will never be externally discovered until you become internally uncovered. Personal discovery is the total acceptance of self. There will never be an identity crisis when you truly know who you are. The downfall to lack of self-knowledge is low self-esteem, poor self-image, lack of confidence, unfulfilled dream, untapped potential, and a congested graveyard fertile with dead bodies of wounded souls. Self-knowledge is paramount to personal success. We have been so out of touch with ourselves that a simple government-issued identification failed to tell the story of our internal capacity. What is your brand? You are the brand. On the path to self-discovery, you will find that your personal success must have a distinct branding that sets you apart from others. Your brand is who you are. There should not be any confusion between you and the crowd. Just as branding is a key element in the world of trade and commerce, knowing who you are is significant to your purpose in life. This is what makes you unique. It tells the world who you are, your purpose, and how you influence the needs of others. The branding of self begins at birth, as a baby full of undeveloped greatness. Your years on earth are designed to reveal the true you as you develop the product, your gift that meets a need. A product that does not meet a need has no purpose. But before we can meet the needs of others, there must first be full development. So how do you move beyond this robotic life of working to pay the bills and on the path to self-discovery, success, self-actualization, and impact people for greater change? You must first see yourself as an original, not a copy, but a true original. You are unoriginal, brand that the world has never seen before. A quote by Napoleon Hill. The world in which we live is demanding new ideas, new way of doing things, new leaders, new inventions, and new method, styles, versions, and variations of everything. You must possess a definiteness of purpose, the knowledge of what you want, and the burning desire to possess it. Finding the real you requires steadfastness. Over time, your values may change, but your identity plays an intricate role in self-branding. Possessing your success requires you to release your potential and then brand yourself according to your specification of your maker, God. Your self-branding involves personal edification with a progressive development and growth. Remember, you are a product that will be served to the world, but you must first do the first things, prepare and develop. The great speaker once said, real success is manifested when preparation meets opportunity. In the same way, people will remember a great product when the brand brings meaning to their life. So, what meaning do you bring to others? And how will they remember you? Self-identification, emancipate. A major part of your journey to success is greatly depends on knowing yourself better than the world knows you. If you have no idea who you are, then you have no idea the power that lies within you and how to manifest these internal ingredients to make them your personal reality. I believe the two most important questions anyone can ever ask him or herself is, who am I and what was I created to do? Questions are powerful because they have a way of forcing us to focus on important issues of life. Could you imagine the car that did not have a purpose? Or celestial bodies like the moon and the star and the suns had no reason to light up the heavens and provide the necessary heat to sustain life on earth? You will increase your awareness of self, your potential, and purpose as you begin to ask the right questions. You discovered from those questions above that the natural creations like the sun and the moon and stars, celestial bodies, functions correctly because they naturally know what to do. So it is with each person. The more you know about yourself, the better you function. Time alone to rediscover. To rediscover yourself, you will need some alone time. If there was ever a time for you to remain selfish, it is now. Breathing room is vital to self-rediscovery. You may look at it as having me time for you to think clearly. Getting to know yourself requires you to become your best friend. This is the time to discover your likes and dislikes, nuances and idiosyncrasies, and then see how they gel with others. Here is where you build people skills. The way you deal with people says a lot about your personality, your brand, and your product. Unless you tell the world who you are, they will make you into whatever they wish. They will pin a tail on you and say, giddy up. Take time to know you so your purpose will become evident, your brand will change lives, and your product will last. The product of any brand is the thing that the world will consume. In this case, your product is what you give to the world, your gift. Therefore, your success is determined by how well you use your gift to influence the world around you. There's a king inside of you. Quote, you have forgotten who you are. Never forget who you are, Simba. You are a king. Mufasa, from the Disney movie Lion King. Many of us have a skewed vision of who we really are. Simba in the Disney movie The Lion King portrays this best. He was an actual king who should have been feasting on lamb chops and the most prestigious food of the land. But when he left his kingdom for the wilderness of doubt and fear, he began to feast on bugs. Imagine that. Stinking bugs. What was he thinking? It's like leaving the palace for the ghetto. His only restitution was Hakuna Matata. Simba is not alone in this. We too allow fear, temporary circumstances, and wayward teaching to dictate our actions and lead us to having false perception of ourselves. I encourage you to go back right after you finish reading this book and watch the movie again and again until you get the real message behind the story. A memorable part of this movie is a scene when Rafiki discovered that Simba was still alive and set out to find him. Rafiki wasted no time. When he found Simba, he told him that his dad, Mufasa the king, was still alive and then led Simba through the pathway to rediscover his true nature, a reflection of the king inside of him. Initially, Simba was in disbelief when Rafiki told him the news that his dad was alive. Not true, he thought to himself, because he witnessed the death of his dad as his uncle Scar thrust Mustafa over the cliff and later told Simba, "This is your fault, Simba. Run away forever and never come back." In the same way, we become victims of other people's circumstances. We accept their lies, develop false identities of ourselves, and run away from our destiny because of fear. This is a perfect example of the type of false teaching we receive from the world, which says, run, you're not good enough, be fearful, you can't do that. And why? Just give up and stop dreaming because it's foolish. Sometimes we forget who we are. In the desperation, run to others for answers, only to find that they too have no idea who they are. Most times we forget our true nature and begin to Hakuna Matata our way through life and happily settle for the bugs and the scraps and everyday living. Who knows what you could be missing out on? Wow, just imagine. When you know who you are, it will become apparent what you should not eat and what company to keep. Unless you truly discover yourself, any identity will work. However, with true self-knowledge, living will become a winning process, and the path that you take to personal success will be a rewarding one. Similar to any manufacturer of a good product, the created thing is designed to manifest the thoughts and the mind of the creator. A car, regardless of its make or model, will only perform the specification of the maker. Honda will never represent the design of BMW. Neither will a tractor perform the function of a whale. Like success, self-identification must be real. The truth is, we have only just begun to unravel the complexities of the human species made in the image of God. Anything less than the real you is a waste of true potential. Do not allow your external motivation for instant gratification to become your demise. As you participate in the process of what it takes to become true to yourself in a world of make-believe, you will learn to let your discovered self shine true for all to see. The transformation process. When you truly discover the real you, you will never wish to be anything than the gem you've discovered in the rubbles of your mind. You are like a diamond that has been under constructive pressure for many years, and at the right moment, when the pressure's compressive forces reach beyond what the cold you can withstand, something miraculous happens. A diamond is formed. You may be that diamond in the rough stages right now, and yes, it is hard to see past the circumstances to behold the brighter future or see the forest for the tree. But in time, you will discover that some pressures are a necessary part of living that is purpose for your development. The only tragedy to all of this is that most of us will never become a diamond that lights up the dark world because we fear the very process that is designed to transform our cold state of darkness into a glistening brightness of desirable gem. Never despise the processes that come to make you strong. Embrace them and learn from them. You are too unique to be forgotten and too amazing to be overlooked. You and I are souls of potentials created to do greater things than we can ever imagine. Do not hesitate to embrace the path to discovering the real giant inside of you. Wellness makes the brand work. Another aspect of self-branding is the pursuit of self-wellness. We should not live to get fit and healthy. We should get fit and healthy to live better and longer. Most people put everything before their health. This is a bad move. Part of rediscovering yourself is to identify the things that promote a healthier lifestyle. Never put anything before your health, wellness, and well-being. Physical activity has a major effect on your overall well-being, and it should be one of the top priorities. It changes the way you think, feel, and respond to daily stimulus, good or bad. For this reason, you are as wealthy as you are healthy, as pure as you think, and as happy as you adapt to changes that life brings. Directly connected to your wealthiness is your healthiness. They are interconnected and interdependent. A wealthy man is a pauper without wellness and a good health. All it takes is one unannounced terminal illness from your doctor, and there goes your wealth in lieu of your health. You might have lots of money to pay for the best health care, but it will never be enough to buy your life back. Most people seek outer success before inner success, while others choose outer wealth over inner wellness and personal well-being. Look around. You've seen them. They are all burnt out, frantic, and stressed as a monkey with a green banana instead of a ripe one. These are people who have little or no time for anything remotely related to health or wellness, but they are the same ones screaming at their physician, "Do something. You're a doctor, aren't you? Make me well." They have millions in the bank of commerce, but nil in the bank of health. Like the downpour of rain in a parched land, so is a good wellness plan on your pathway to success. Now, my definition for wellness may not be the same as yours, or anybody else for that matter. Wellness, I believe, is everything that improves your livelihood. It is a holistic approach to a healthier lifestyle and a better way of living. Therefore, wellness is everything that has to do with anything you do to influence your life today for a better tomorrow. Remember, success has little to do with your destination, but everything to do with the journey and each stop along the way. Chapter 3. Get living your best anyway. A quote: dreams will cause you to leave your zone of comfort in order to realize the true meaning of life to its fullest. Andrew Guy. Do it anyway. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motive. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friend and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you're honest and sincere, people may cheat you. Be honest and sincere anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the world the best you have anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. This version credited to Mother Teresa. As you work your words and decide to give living your best shot, there will be haters along the way. Unlike the people in your corner who truly desire your success, haters despise you for wanting success, and like misery, they too love company. Acknowledge them, work your words, and keep it moving. Do not stop for them. If they are not in it to see you win it, they are in it to see you lose it. Use them as fuel to push you in the right directions, forward, up, and beyond. As you will discover, working the right words and the motion of forward thinking is lotion for your pathway to success. It makes the journey smoother. Doing it anyway empowers you to be focused on the things that you speak and set out to do. Regardless of your situation and circumstances, all things are possible if you would only believe. I know you've heard this phrase a million times now, but I'll say it again and again, and as often as I need to repeat it so it sinks deep into your consciousness. And when you believe it, you will do what it says. Remember, among works diligently worked, decisions reign supreme in the hierarchical scale of success. And people will talk the moment you decide to activate your spoken words to pursue your goal and dreams. Do not let this hamper your groove. People will talk about you whether you fail or succeed. This is a fact of living. Keep moving and just do it anyway. Just dia. It doesn't matter your ethnicity, be it black or white, red-necked, country or city folk, Indian, Chinese, Jew or Gentile. Just dia. Give them something to talk about. Don't stop there. Go as far as making it impossible for them to forget about you as well. Everywhere they look, they should see you, hear you, and even want to shake your hand. In their living rooms, on their television set, providing they have one, you should be there. In the newspaper, providing they can read, you should be there. On the billboards, providing they can see, you should be there. On their radios, providing they can hear, you should be there. And everywhere they mention good news, you should be there. Be there anyway. Just BTA. And why not? Believe me, you are made for this. Like Esther of the Bible, who became the beacon of light and a vessel through which her people were saved from annihilation, you were made for such a time as this. I say, just dia. Success is like glue. It attracts every walk of life towards you as you begin to work your words. This happened the moment you decide to dream, believe, and step out of the proverbial box thinking way of existing and make your reality worth living. The personal freedom of success releases you from the clutches of people, the snares and the pessimistic naysayers, and the dream-killing, onlooking bystanders. Trust me, they will be there, but just dia. Stop being a spectator of life. It's your turn at bat. Step up and take a swing at living and give the world something spectacular to catch. The path of hindrance. Unless you do something you've never done before, you will never accomplish your dream nor work the words you speak. One thing is certain. Humans have a different level of fear intolerance and the mental consciousness to conquer them. Fear is a crippling force that stops us dead in our tracks. In other words, fear can also be any debilitating force that stops you from moving forward, overcoming setbacks, and breaking through to victory. Zig Ziglar says, fear is false evidence appearing real, and most of what we see is mental. But when placed into its right perspective, we can all agree that our fear factors are not all that monstrous when we take the first step to conquer them. In order for you to give life your best shot, you must face fear to overcome them. Taking on challenge will provide you with the experience you need to face fear and win. Tangible experience plays an important role. They are priceless, and they provide significant learning opportunities for growth. You must also think of the big fear as a bunch of little fears culminating as one. Therefore, it is to your advantage to conquer your little fears quickly. Never wait for tomorrow to do what you must do today. You stand to gain more from living when you have the experience to make informed decisions. Therefore, to overcome your fear, you must attack it head on. You are what you think, but you become what you do. An overcomer. The Path of Perseverance. A quote by Les Brown. It is never the thing we acquire through life that matters, but rather it is the person we become. Take what life gives you and make it into what you want. Don't give up, but give in to what you are called to do. Giving your best shot requires tenacity, determination, vigor, and withedness. In case you're wondering what I mean by the word withedness, it is an ability to be cognizant of your surroundings and the sequences of events as they occur. You know, living in the moment. Be there, not a few years. Be there now. To give living your best shot, you must be willing to try harder than you're willing to quit. The moment you refuse to try is the day you announce your death sentence to the world. Be strong, take courage, and keep your chin up. Because life is a gift, but living is a process where you begin and the end with a fight of faith. Remember, for everything you can imagine, there is a pathway with your name on it, and it has the ultimate design called success. Your greatest challenge will be people. You must be agile, flexible, adaptable, and possess a high level of social skills to be successful. You must be ready and willing to make the necessary changes to overcome obstacles. Seek out opportunities of growth and self-improvement. Manage self, but measure time. After you have rediscovered yourself, branded, developed, and understood your purpose, you are now ready to serve your gift to the world. On this path, all streets lead to success, and every highway and bridge is named after you, and they all say in unison, go, go, go. But what if they don't say go? What will you do? Will you quit or keep moving forwards? I say keep it moving and give it your best shot. This is your moment, and this is your time. You'll find that most people are hard workers who diligently pursue success. But the sad thing is that they do not know when it is their time. It is important that you understand timing and to use it effectively to measure your progress to success. It allows you to convert your precious efforts into a harvest of hope. As a young boy growing up in the foothills of the Caribbean in Jamaica, West Indies, I've always heard a saying which went like this: time is the master. Since then, it has taken me some years to come to grips with this saying. It was not until recently I came to realization that time is not my master. It is, however, a measure of how I spend each moment on earth. So there you have it. Time is only a measure, not your master. Success through others. A quote: one hand washes the other, and they both get clean. To give life your best shot, you will need the right people who want you to succeed. Remember, success is both personal and public. Working your words and personal development is the private side, while people are the public aspect of your success. People generate creativity and innovation. You will need effective people skills to help you navigate your way to personal success. You may not always know everyone you meet. Some can be complete strangers, while others may enter your pathway for only a season. Despite the length of the season, you should always find a pathway to use your gift to reach people. There are many ways you can use your gifts to help others. Think of outreach of stepping out of your zone of comfort to share your gift to the world. I encourage you to seek out ways to make a difference in people's lives. Contact your local youth organization, church groups, and other nonprofit organizations in your community. Another way to serve is through mentorship. Volunteering to assist with after-school tutoring, join a community sports team to assist with coaching. Success through relationships. Remember, things never change until you do, and a vision never dies. Only people without one do. Begin by developing relationships with people who honestly care about you and are motivated to see you succeed. Most times you'll find that you making it means more to them than the very words they use to motivate you. Having the right people in your corner is like having a key to a treasure chest. They will help you to gain access to new opportunities, open doors, and are there to give you constructive feedback imperative to your advancement. They will tell you the truth regardless of the temporary pain you feel. They will not sugarcoat the facts, especially when it comes to your growth. Brand yourself with high standards. You should always make honesty, integrity, and accountability the standard that guides your success. This is not an overnight ordeal, and these things are never easy to do because there will always be a temptation to compromise. It takes commitment, hard work, and dedication. But the success of your brand will become more established as you maintain your standards. A quote by Dr. Miles Monroe: "The purpose of a product is found only in the mind of the creator." Chapter 4. Dare to Dream. A quote: "Dreams will cause you to leave your zone of comfort in order to realize the true meaning of living life to its fullest." Andrew Guy. The desire to live life to its fullest demands you to dream big. As I said before, big dreaming is the personality of success. This is the initial step in working your words. You see, once you begin thinking about possibilities for a better life, you have already begun to speak internally. The next step is to speak those dreams aloud to yourself first, even in the mirror, then to a few trusted people. After this, you launch out and work those words, utilizing all the resources available to you, including this book, of course. Dreams are not just the personality of success. They're a substance of life and nourishment for living. What could one dream do? Free an oppressed race of people, provide wealth for people in remote regions to get clean water, simplify computer processing so that a larger population of the world can own computers, and even lead a young man from a single-parent home to become the first black president of the United States. On a more personal note, it was a dream that led my mother to embark on a journey to leave Jamaica and work hard in Canada so that her 6 children could join her and have a better life as well. From Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to the late Nelson R. Mandela to Mother Teresa and countless others, including those whose work went by unnoticed. It was because of their dreams that we enjoy better lives today. So never look at dreaming as a waste of time. That only happens if you never act on it. I urge you, dare to dream. Big Dreams, a story. I am remembered of a story about a young man who made dreaming his way of living and a method to transforming his life. One day as he sat down next to a pond, he had a dream. Let's read his account of what happened. I remember quite vividly one foggy Monday morning, my little brother and I sat beside the old pond. Everything that you could possibly dream of happened there. This pond was filled with many different creatures, snails, snakes, fishes, and frogs. Trust me, if you could name them, they were there in that old pond. Unlike the other mornings, this one was very unusual. It was quiet. In fact, the moment was ripe for dreaming. Aside from my little brother's nose that was always running like a sewer in Manhattan, As we sat there beneath that withered grapefruit tree next to the old pond with my feet taking a religious bath in the chilly morning water, I had a dream of a lifetime. I've always wanted to be the type of person who knew there was something special for everyone, including little me. You know, doing something big, bold, intuitive, and gutsy. That's right, doing something so big, it gave new meaning to the word itself. Bold, intuitive, gutsy. In fact, I dreamt so much, I often thought of myself as Joseph the dreamer from the Bible story. You remember the one whose brothers hated him because he was highly favored by his father? And one time, he had a weird dream about being a great ruler, his brothers bowing down to him, and to make things worse, he even had a coat of many colors that was given to him by his father Jacob. Good old Jojo the dreamer, who became the great ruler in Egypt and was often used by God to save an entire family. Oh yeah, about my dream. So there I was in New York City, the big apple that never sleeps, and where a moment of silence seemed almost impossible to be wished upon, like a star that never shines. Crazy, huh? But anyway, here's my story. It was late one Saturday night when I received a call to perform live at the Showtime of the Apollo. By the way, the Apollo is one of the greatest stages known to performers worldwide. Moreover, this stage has made kings of those who dared to dream and who had the big dream courage to graze and worn out floor of its stage. Since the opening of the theater, dreams have taken on the shape of wings and soared. As a young boy, I once heard that the stage was so luge, too large to be big and too huge to be large. It had both upper and lower balconies, along with a stage so grand I could play a full 9 inning of baseball with the great famed slugger himself, Babe Ruth. On a given night, I imagined that Titanic could hold close to 10,000 people. A crowd so luge that upon applause, it cracked a hole in the back of a windshield of a 1950 Jimmy Blazer. Bang! And there it goes, shattered to smithereens. A force so strong and everlasting that among the many newscasters, CNN would spend eternity trying to put the pieces back together in their special reports. Anyways, this place was fruitful and full of substance. As a matter of fact, it almost seemed as if anyone who had the guts to set souls on that stage could make his story. Whoa! Me performing on the big stage. What a bold, intuitive, gutsy, courageous move. I know Mom and Dad would have been proud to see me. I just know they would. But still, I'm only dreaming. Or am I? As the late evening drew closer to midnight, I made my way through the bustling New York City traffic. When I arrived at the Apollo in Harlem, my palms began to sweat like a puppy dog's nose. The bumpy bus ride crushed my clothes like unwanted autumn leaves on the back of a city garbage truck at rush hour in a busy Friday. And the constant rubbing of other passengers from the packed vehicle had me smelling like rotten egg. Smelly, you know the type. I was tired and flustered from a long, aggravating ride in the New York City transit system. Simply worn out, if you ask me. Suddenly, the dream wasn't so dreamy anymore. And like Joseph, I felt as if I were in a cave waiting for some passerby to place the highest bid and cast a lot for my Technicolor coat. The Apollo didn't seem so glamorous anymore. I wanted to go home. At least then I could be in my warm bed, smelling fresh from a recent shower and kicking back in my comfy pajamas watching my favorite movie Glory for the 9 millionth time. Something about that Morgan Freeman guy. He is a great actor. Anyway, let's continue. In any case, I did reach my destination. All of a sudden, the place seemed strange, as if I were in another world. There were people everywhere, enjoying themselves and waiting for the show. I made my way to the back of the door entrance and allowed myself in. There I waited for 2 minutes, and then the show coordinator came backstage and offered me a suit of clothes to change into and a cup of hot tea, which I really was desperately craving. Soon it will be my turn to take the stage and follow in the footsteps of former greats like Bill Cosby, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, and the likes. In many ways, this made me feel very humble and a little childish. yet eager to please the fans who took the time to come out on a cold winter's night to be warmed by humor that surpasses mere dreaming of the good old days. For a moment, it was almost unreal. Imagine me, that old diamond in the rough, live at the Apollo. Whoa! Dreams were meant for moments like these. Breathtaking. The thought of it troubled me happily and kept my feet busy. Moments before my name was announced, I started my usual get-ready routine, pacing back and forth continuously. Finally, it was my turn to perform. Yeah, the Big Apple. I wondered what one dream could do. First, the curtains went up, the spotlight switched on, and then, suddenly, there was a charge in the air. At this time, the seats were jam-packed with comedy fans, anxiously awaiting to be joked out of their paid spots by this rising star. My heart pounded vigorously in the cavity of my chest. Man, it was racing, vroom, vroom, like the fastest car in the Indianapolis 500. Although I could hardly see their faces due to the darkness and the bright overpowering light, I could feel what felt like hundreds of eyes staring at me all at once. The stage lights slowly undimmed, and the touch of the microphone sent a sudden chill down my spine. My mouth began to spring water like an overused brush at an all-night car wash. Next, I heard what sounded like a shuffling of feet and the screeching of seats and the chairs as fans drew close towards the edge of their seats to hear my opening act. Meanwhile, the sound coordinator made final adjustments to the audio system to ensure my microphone was perfectly tuned. This was as intense as it could get for me. I felt every bit of emotion that any human could ever felt. And if words could permit me, I would bottle up every smidgen of weird anatomical and neurological sensation that ran through my body, from brain to neuron and from cell body to axon to dendrite to synapse and innervation and back. Whew, boy, that was a mouthful. Whew. But hey, I'm only dreaming. So there I was, in the heat of the moment, and bang! My first joke knocked the roof off the building like a strong wing having a tug of war with a grown man's toupee on the Trump Tower. Zing! Gone. And then I heard what sounded like an ocean of wave of laughter rippling through the audience. Crowds of people were laughing, cheering, whistling, and screaming for more. Could you believe it? I know I can. In fact, I am now a firm believer about doing it big. Joy came with a great sigh of long-awaiting relief. This was the best opener I had ever done. Mind you, I am still dreaming, so you may just have to pinch me so I can continue to enjoy this moment before I either pass out or the moment pass me by. But under no circumstances will I allow this to happen. I am hanging on to this moment for dear life. Like my future and the sanity of my soul depends on it. A few moments later, I thought to myself, why on God's green earth was I so nervous to begin with? Then it dawned on me. The answer came to me like a renaissance. I am a star with a great light inside of me that must shine in a dark world that is full of hate and greed and lust and sin and people who are hurting, lonely, forgotten, weak, and in desperate need of help. It was at that moment when I realized that I am a gift to the world, sent here miles away from the mind of the Creator into the hearts of the world, from a stinky old pond to put a smile on the people's face. And regardless of your dreaming place, be it in a secluded room, behind the wheels of your jalopy or the benzo, or, like me, beside a stinky old pond with a running-nosed brother, let dream reign in your soul. Dare to dream.